Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's think about Oklahoma weather for a second. There's really hot summers, and then, bam, winter hits pretty hard sometimes too.
hmm
Your home's HVAC system is right in the middle of all that. It's a huge investment, something we all totally rely on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So today, we're not just, scratching the surface. We're really going deep on how you can maximize the lifespan of that system.
It's amazing, really, how much difference proper care makes. Our sources show a well-maintained system. It can easily last over 15 years, keeping you comfortable.
15 years, well,
But if you neglect it, well, you might be lucky to get 10 years out of it before needing a replacement. That's a big gap.
huge gap in comfort and definitely in your wallet.
Exactly.
And that's precisely why we're doing this deep dive.
Yeah.
Our mission here is to take all the info we've gathered and boil it down into steps you can actually use right now.
Practical stuff.
Yeah, practical stuff to help you make that HVAC system last longer, save some money on bills and repairs, and just keep your home feeling, comfortable, whatever the weather's doing outside.
Sounds good.
We'll touch on understanding the system itself, spotting problems early, maintenance, how you use it, and even some smart upgrades.
Okay.
Okay, so to really make this work, we need to start with the basics, right? It's more than just that big box outside the house.
Oh, definitely. Knowing the main parts is pretty crucial if you want to maintain it effectively. So you've got your furnace or maybe a heat pump. They both heat, but differently.
Oh, so.
Well, a furnace actually creates heat, burns fuel. A heat pump, it moves heat from outside in or vice versa. Can be more efficient sometimes, especially when it's not super cold.
Okay.
Then, obviously, the air conditioner for cooling and ventilation, that's super important too. It's constantly swapping indoor air, keeps the quality up.
Right.
And finally, the ductwork. Think of it like the system's arteries, carrying the conditioned air everywhere in your house.
Gotcha. So it's all this interconnected stuff. And keeping it running well isn't just about being comfy. There are other big upsides, too.
Absolutely. An efficient system means energy efficiency. Plain and simple.
Lower bills, always good.
Lower electricity bills, yeah. And, a smaller carbon footprint if that's important to you. Plus, you get long-term savings
How's that?
by avoiding those big, nasty repair bills that pop up unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And you push back the date when you have to shell out for a whole new system. That's a huge expense.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, so how do we know? How do we know if our system is trying to, send us a signal that something's off? We want to
Oh,
catch
yeah.
things early, right before it completely dies on a 105-degree day.
Exactly. Early detection is so important. You got to listen and, smell sometimes. Unusual noises are a big clue.
Like what kind of noises?
Well, like a banging sound, could be loose parts rattling around, or maybe a motor starting to go, or whistling. Hissing sounds often means air leaks in the ducts. You're losing cooled or heated air, which costs you money. And the really serious one, a burning smell. If you smell that, don't wait. It could be an electrical issue, something dangerous. Needs a pro, immediately.
Okay, yeah, definitely don't want burning smells.
Mm-hmm.
What about just, the temperature feeling uneven? Like the living room's fine, but the bedroom's an oven.
Yeah, that's another key sign. Inconsistent temps from room to room. It tells you something's up.
What could cause that?
Could be a few things. Often it's just a clogged air filter blocking the flow. Simple fix, hopefully.
Right.
Or it could be the thermostat itself isn't reading the temperature right, so it's not controlling the system properly. Or again, those leaky ducts we mentioned, distributing air unevenly.
And I'm guessing if my energy bill certainly spikes way up, that's probably not a good sign either.
You guessed it. A sudden, unexplained jump in energy use usually means your HVAC is working way harder than it should be to keep you comfortable.
Why would it do that?
Could be lack of maintenance catching up with it. Could be it's just getting old and less efficient. Or maybe your home's insulation isn't great, so the system's constantly fighting to keep up.
Okay, so listen for noises, watch for smells, notice uneven temps, keep an eye on the bills. Got it. Now let's talk about what we can actually do. Proactive stuff. Maintenance is the big one here, right?
Absolutely. Regular maintenance. It's the number one thing. It's the difference between that 10-year system and the 15-plus year one. It's foundational.
Okay.
And seasonal checks are a really big part of that.
Right, like a spring checkup for the AC before summer and a fall one for the heat before winter kicks in.
Exactly.
But is it really worth paying for a professional tune-up twice a year? Does it pay off?
I really think it does. Look, those certified techs, they have the tools and the training. They spot things you or I would totally miss.
Yeah.
They can catch tiny problems before they become huge, expensive breakdowns. Think of it like preventative care for one of your home's most expensive appliances. Saves money and hassle down the road.
Okay, yeah. Framed that way, it makes sense. What about things we can do ourselves? Filters seem to come up a lot.
Filters are huge. Deceptively simple, but critical. A dirty filter chokeholds your system.
Restricts the air.
Totally. Makes it work much harder, uses more energy, and can even cause parts to fail early. You absolutely need to check them, I'd say at least monthly.
Monthly, okay.
Yeah, pull it out, hold it up to the light. If it looks clogged with dirt and dust, replace it or clean it, depending on the type.
Does the type of filter matter much?
It does. Don't just grab the cheapest one. High-efficiency filters, like pleated ones, catch way more dust, pollen, allergens. Better for air quality, maybe slightly better for the system, too.
Good tip.
And seriously, set a reminder on your phone. Calendar alert, whatever. It's easy to forget, but so important.
Okay, reminder set. What about the ductwork? It's mostly hidden away. Should we worry about that?
Yeah, you should give some thought to the ducts. They can develop leaks over time, especially at the joints. You could be losing a lot of that expensive conditioned air into your attic or crawl space.
Wasting energy.
Big time. Sealing those leaks can make a real difference in efficiency and bills. You can visually check accessible ducts yourself, but getting them professionally cleaned every few years is also a good idea.
Why cleaning?
Removes built-up dust, debris, maybe even mold or allergens, better air quality, better airflow. And make sure ducts in unconditioned spaces, like the attic, are properly insulated. That prevents energy loss, too.
Right, insulating the ducts themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the whole system, including the delivery network. Makes sense. Now, we know what it is, how to maintain it.
Yeah.
What about how we use it day to day? Does that actually impact how long it lasts?
Oh, absolutely. How you operate your system day in, day out. It has a massive impact on its lifespan and how efficiently it runs. Simple changes can add up.
Like the thermostat settings? I'm always fiddling with mine. What's the sweet spot?
Well, general recommendations for summer, try setting it around 78 degrees Fahrenheit when you're home, maybe even a bit higher when you're out.
78.
Yeah, it feels pretty comfortable for most people, and it's efficient. For winter, aim for about 68 degrees when you're home.
Yeah.
And definitely turn it down, several degrees when you're asleep or away. Saves a good chunk of energy.
That's where those programmable thermostats come in handy, right?
Exactly. Programmable, or even better, smart thermostats are fantastic for this. They automate those temperature changes for you based on your schedule, takes the thinking out of it.
Nice.
And hey, don't forget about opening windows. On cooler nights, especially in spring or fall, let that natural ventilation cool things down. Give the AC a break.
Good point. Free cooling. Now, my thermostat has an energy saver mode.
Yeah.
Do those things actually work?
Yeah, definitely use those if you have them. Energy saver mode is designed specifically to cut back consumption when you're away or don't need precise temps.
Okay.
And if your system has variable fan speeds, try using a lower speed sometimes. It uses less power, it's quieter, and often it's enough to keep things comfortable. Also, check for a dehumidifier function. Sometimes just pulling excess humidity out makes it feel cooler without dropping the temperature setting way down. Saves energy.
Ah, good trick for muggy days.
Yeah.
So it's about being smarter than just cranking it up or down. Any other simple tips to avoid overworking the system?
Loads of simple things, actually. Use ceiling fans. They make you feel cooler by moving air, so you can set the thermostat a bit higher in summer.
Right, the wind chill effect.
Exactly. And make sure your windows and doors seal tightly. Check for drafts. Use weather stripping, caulk gaps. Stopping air leaks is huge.
Okay.
And we mentioned it before, but it's worth repeating. Good home insulation. Attics, walls, crawl spaces. A well-insulated house holds onto that conditioned air way better, meaning your HVAC doesn't have to run nearly as much.
It seems like making the whole house efficient helps the HVAC system do its job better and last longer.
That's exactly right. They work hand in hand.
Okay, so let's talk about maybe taking it up a notch. Are there specific upgrades or enhancements that can really help extend the life and boost efficiency even more?
Yeah, there definitely are. Strategic upgrades can make a big difference. Smart thermostats are probably the easiest place to start.
We touch on them. What else makes them so smart, beyond scheduling?
Well, remote access is a big one. Change the temp from your phone before you even get home.
Convenient.
Very. Plus, many of them actually learn your habits. They figure out your routine and automatically adjust temps for comfort and savings without you doing anything.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And they often give you energy usage reports, so you can actually see where your heating and cooling energy is going and find ways to save even more. Data is power,
That sounds really helpful, actually, seeing the numbers. What about more physical stuff, like insulation upgrades?
absolutely crucial. Improving your home's insulation, especially in the attic and basement or crawl space, is one of the best investments you can make.
Yeah.
That's where tons of heat escapes in winter and creeps in during summer. Beefing up insulation there takes a huge load off your HVAC. And like we said, sealing air leaks around windows, doors, outlets, pipes, use weather stripping, caulk. It all adds up to less work for your system.
And insulating the ducts too, right?
Yes,
Okay.
especially ducts running through unconditioned areas like attics. Insulating them ensures the air arrives at the temperature it's supposed to be.
Okay, these seem like solid investments.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard whispers about geothermal. Is that realistic for, say, an Oklahoma homeowner? Sounds expensive.
Geothermal is really interesting technology. It is a bigger upfront investment, no doubt about it. But the long-term savings can be massive.
How massive?
Some sources say you could cut your heating and cooling costs by up to 70%. 70.
Wow. Okay, that's significant.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it uses the stable temperature of the earth, the equipment often lasts longer too, less wear and tear than units exposed to weather extremes.
Huh.
It's definitely worth looking into. Available incentives, tax credits, rebates, that sort of thing. They can help bring that initial cost down quite a bit.
Okay, 70% potential savings. Definitely something to keep in mind for the long haul. Now, let's be realistic. Even with great care, things can still break. When do we absolutely need to bite the bullet and call a professional?
Yeah, knowing when to call for help is key to stopping small problems from becoming catastrophes. Those warning signs we talked about, pay attention.
Like the weird noises.
Exactly. If it suddenly gets much louder or starts making moo noises, grinding, banging, squealing, call someone. Don't ignore it.
Okay, what else?
If it's just not heating or cooling like it used to, or if it starts cycling on and off constantly, short cycling, they call it, that often means there's an underlying problem.
So better safe than sorry. Call sooner rather than later.
Definitely. And honestly, those regular professional inspections we mentioned earlier, they're valuable even if you don't think something's wrong.
Preventative, right?
Yeah, a pro can do a thorough check, catch things early, make sure everything's running efficiently and safely, check for carbon monoxide leaks with furnaces, peace of mind.
Makes sense. And if we do need to call someone, how do we pick a good HVAC company? Any tips?
Good question. Do a little homework, make sure they're licensed and certified. That shows they meet certain standards.
Okay.
Check online reviews, see what other customers say about their work and reliability, and ask if they offer maintenance plans. Often those plans can save you money on tune-ups and maybe even give you priority service if something breaks.
All right, good practical advice there. This has been really illuminating, lots to think about. So if we had to boil it all down, what are the absolute must-dos for getting the most life out of our HVAC?
Okay, the essentials. 1, regular professional maintenance, non-negotiable. 2, keep an eye and an ear on its performance. Notice changes. 3, use it smartly, thermostat settings, energy modes. 4, consider those upgrades like insulation or a smart thermostat when the time is right. It's a whole package.
So regular checkups, pay attention, use it wisely, and think about improving efficiency overall. Sounds like putting in a bit of consistent effort really pays off.
It absolutely does. You take care of your HVAC now, and it'll take care of you, keeping you comfortable through Oklahoma's wild weather, saving you money on bills, avoiding those sudden breakdowns, and hopefully putting off that huge replacement cost for years.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, so here's a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. Considering everything we've talked about, your comfort, your budget, what's one small, manageable change you could make today related to your HVAC system? Just one thing that could give you some real long-term benefits down the line. Maybe it really is just setting that filter reminder. Or maybe it's finally looking up local HVAC companies for a tune-up quote. Or just adjusting your thermostat schedule. Whatever it is, maybe pick one thing. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.